So now that we've launched Sync Match publicly, we have many more members that are joining us. We had a lot join us just as we released it this last Monday and yesterday as well. And I wanted to just make a quick video on one of the power use cases. I know many of you guys are already uploading your tracks on the Tag Match feature, finding your libraries, finding your reference tracks, finding where you fit into this industry. Keep doing that. That's awesome. But something that is extremely useful about this app and this data that you now have access to is how to find great libraries to pitch to, but also get a look and a peek behind the curtain as to what tracks are getting placed by that library and how are those tracks being used. Why do you want to know that? Well, having all of that data, you know what puts yourself in the highest quality position, or at least the most likely position in terms of the music you're supplying to that library, to secure the highest number of placements. Remember, you might hate it or like it, but there is a numbers game to this strategy in terms of if you want to work with production music libraries, securing a couple of placements per year is probably just not going to cut it. I mean, you can get lucky and get massive, huge placements. Chances are most placements you get are going to be in the tens of dollars, maybe even the pennies for the smaller ones, but the tens of dollars, maybe to the hundreds of dollars for more prominent ones, maybe up to a couple of thousand for really, really big prominent ones. So with those kinds of numbers, there's got to be a number strategy that you are working with. We are trying to line up and position yourself in the position that can get you the most number of placements. So that means getting your tracks, first of all, accepted by a library and into TV shows, commercials, that kind of thing, but also into those types of content that re-air over and over and over again. And one of those types of content is commercials, and more specifically, infomercials, product commercials, right? So I'm going to show you right now, if you are in the Sync Match app, and by the way, you can join still at the Founders member levels until July 1st. I'll put a link below if you'd like to still join us starting at $9.99. But I want you to really spend some time on this Libraries tab, okay? These are all the libraries that we have detected for the previous month's channels, okay? Right now we're monitoring 10, starting July 1st, we're going to up that to 20, and in August we're actually going to expand it further than that. But these are all the different libraries that have shown up in our master data sheet. Okay, so basically 9 pages worth of different production music libraries. Lots of companies to dive into, and every one of these you can click on to get deeper insights as to what got placed. But you don't have to go through 9 pages. Okay, right here we have a filter button. You just click on this and you can select which genre you specialize in, and it will only leave those libraries that have secured placements in that genre. Okay, so if you did country, you've really only got 4 companies you really need to dive into to find out which ones you want to pitch to. Maybe pitch to all of them and create custom pitches for each one separately. But it really does save you a ton of time just by using this one filter feature. So let's say, I'm going to walk you through one example of how to use this data. So let's say you make, I don't know, indie. Okay, you make some indie music. Sometimes that can be considered, corporate music or whatever, but indie is kind of where you sort of center on. Again, you can do this for any genre you compose. Now, what you're going to see is only just the libraries that have secured some indie track placements. Okay, so let's just pick one. Let's do Temp Love. This is definitely a high quality company based out of California. Really, really very, very prominent in our data sheet. I've seen their company name come up quite a bit. And as you can see here, right when you click on this, you're going to get access to their website. So you can click on that. You immediately open up their website if you want to do some more research on what they are. Definitely got their best email or contact information, whatever that is. Sorry. Got to go back here, but you can certainly, copy and paste this and email them if you want to pitch to them. So we're giving you all the tools to be able to make your pitch directly. And what you can do, and this is what I really want you guys to pay attention to for this video. This is the most placed tracks coming from Temp Love in the previous month. So this is recent data, and this is telling you, we're sorting them by the placement numbers, how many placements they got, what the track title is, what genre it was, what mood was it, and also you can listen to the track in full. I'm going to play you a little bit of this track here in just a second. And you can listen to a snippet of this track as it aired. This is the kind of insight and the valuable information that will help you make sure that you are putting yourself again in the position to have 37 placements potentially with a track submission. Doesn't guarantee you this. Nobody can guarantee you that. These are independent companies. They have independent choices, subjective human judgments on do they like it? Do the TV clients want to use your track, right? There's a variety of other elements going into it. But with this data, using this, listening to this music, understanding exactly what gets placed the most, you can at least put yourself in the highest chance. You can basically put yourself in a position to get the highest chance of getting placements and getting the highest number of placements because you know what's happening with this particular company. That's what's powerful about this data. Up until Sync Match, You could look at a website. You can kind of like maybe get a sense of like what are they getting placed. Looks like it's kind of this, kind of that, but you don't really know where the data is, like what's happening right now, where are the numbers, what's getting placed the most, right? That's really useful and valuable stuff. That's what you guys get with this, okay? So obviously we can first listen to any one of these tracks if you want to. So let's just start with the winner, obviously. This is the track that got 37 placements. I've kind of already got it loaded up here. It's called Lane Bryant. And let's just take a listen to a little bit of what's going on with the most placed track with Temp Love. Here's what it sounds like. So there you go. Definitely has got an indie vibe to it. Some people might call this corporate. You know, it's kind of got that nice, clean, easy going, easy listening, a little bit optimistic. But it works great in a lot of different commercial aspects, especially infomercials, product commercials, that kind of a thing. One thing you also need to be aware of is that, you know, you clicked on one link, you know, your Spotify app link to get access to this track. But what you basically are going to land on for most of these tracks is a full album, right? This is the Temp Love album they released. And by the way, people want to know, how are these tracks on Spotify? A lot of production music libraries release their production music simultaneously on Spotify for customers and for audience members, the general public to listen to, and they can earn some income through the streaming numbers as well. So, and it's also exposure and other things. So these are not albums released by the composers. They're usually released by the libraries themselves after they've accepted it from the composer. But right here, with one click, you get access to 15 different potential reference tracks for you to follow along with and understand how long are they, listening to how they build, listening to is there a lot of changes happening with these tracks. One thing I can tell you for sure, I did a little bit of work in my career like this, is if you're going to do infomercial work or commercial work, a lot of times they don't want a lot of big drastic changes in terms of energy. They want it to just constantly build, and these are going to be a little bit on the longer side. Some of them aren't, but you can see that some of them, this is 350. Okay, you got 318, 330. Why are some of these much longer than usual production music library tracks? Well, for retail, corporate, infomercial type of music, they got to fill a lot of time. You know, infomercials can be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes even longer. So sometimes they just want to put 1 3-minute long track in there that just consistently builds, that really does help add to the energy and the forward momentum of the infomercial. So this is what you get access to with one click, is all of this rich, you know, basically data and reference tracks for you to really spend a lot of time listening to. Maybe make your own playlist if you want to in your Spotify account, and just spend time throughout your day commuting and during your lunch break and whatever, just listening to a lot of high quality and proven production music. And you know now with the data what's getting placed the most, okay? But we go one step further in the Sync Match app. You can click on this listen button right here under the snippet column. I'm going to click on this in a little bit, and we're going to listen to how this track actually got used on TV. So you know for yourself, how is this music being used by TV clients? Let's take a listen.
Letting women feel confident in their skin and letting their true beauty shine through.
Don't miss this opportunity to experience meaningful beauty. But hurry, this exclusive offer won't last. Scan the QR code, call the number below, or visit meaningfulbeauty.com to claim your exclusive deal today.
So there you go. What's really amazing about that, first of all, obviously you notice how low the music is. Get used to that. That is definitely how our music usually is put together. It's barely audible a lot of the times, but you could hear the track, right? Pumping along behind there, kind of moving it forward. Energy felt, optimistic, bright, change, discovery, feeling like you can do something, right? But kind of got that power behind it. That's what you really want to keep in mind, because, you know, what was it, Optimal Beauty or some beauty.com, infomercial. Obviously, that's the vibe that a commercial client wants to present about their product or their service, right? They want you to feel you can do something, you can make a change, you can take advantage of this, you can reinvent yourself. All the same sort of stories with a variety of different services and products that air on TV. And this is what's going to get your head in the game faster than anything else, is spending time listening to the music that's getting placed the most. Now, if you don't do indie music, you might do something else. This is another filter button that is extremely powerful that can get you the data you need immediately. Click on filter. Let's say you want to find out what house tracks they've got in place. It will only return to you just the house track. Okay, this one only got one placement, but if you want to know, hey, I want to know what's going on with house music. You can click on those links, listen to them as well. All the other genres, the only genres that you'll see pop up in this filter are the ones that actually got placed by this library. So you put them pop, you can hear the pop ones, synthwave, etc. Okay, really useful, valuable stuff. It definitely just zeroes out the noise, gets you immediately right to what's happening, what's getting placed the most. And again, using this to put yourself in the most potentially successful position you possibly can. You know, I really just honestly feel bad for composers that are just submitting music to libraries without using this app. Now, you know, up until this app, I understand we're kind of doing our best. We're taking recommendations. We're just sort of doing our own research, hoping that we're putting the right music in the right hands. But you don't have to do that anymore. You know, I'm going to just keep beating this drum, you know, now that this app is out to the public, is you don't have to guess anymore. You don't have to hope. You don't have to wonder. You don't have to be like, well, I think my music could get placed by them. All that's over with. When you have access to the data to know exactly what's happening with these production music libraries and what gets placed, and you can listen to those tracks, listen to how they were used, you know what is the sort of golden areas to focus on to make sure that you're putting yourself in the position where most of the energy is happening, okay? And maybe not getting lost in the weeds of some of these tracks that only have a couple of placements, but really kind of focusing more. That's why we sort these this way. With everything that you're seeing here, we show our trends, right? Top tracks that were placed, longest tracks that were placed. Now we've added the top instrumental cues. We're also organizing and sorting them by how many placements they received, and also the top vocal tracks. So maybe you do only vocal music. You want to kind of see where are the winners in vocal music, what styles, you know, what genre, what mood, and you can listen to them, listen to the snippets, what libraries they came from, all that good stuff. You can dive into this any which way you'd like to. And again, this gets updated every single month. So right now we're still looking at the May data, but obviously when we come to July 1st, we're going to be adding those 10 new channels. So even richer, more data, more tracks, more libraries to dig through. And you're going to be getting access to all new placement data, new snippets, new Spotify links, all that good stuff. And that's what you guys get access to when you sign up and you join us as a member. Right now, you can still sign up at the $9.99 founding members rate. That gets you access to all of this data. Plus, you can upload one track if you'd like to see, you know, where you kind of fit into the data. If you want to submit new tracks every single month, that's going to be available if you sign up as a premium member. Right now, $14.99 a month, or as a pro member, you get 10 tracks. The premium, I didn't say it, you get 5 tracks every month. Pro member, it's $17.99, just basically $3 more than premium, and you get 10 tracks. So regardless of which one you sign up for, you can stay on top of the trends. It's just that the premium and the pro, you can upload your new music every single month to see where you fit into the current market industry, what's happening, where are the trends changing, and are you still staying in that sort of top echelon of these, you know, these larger numbers of placements? Are you still fitting in to that sort of demographic or that data set, essentially? So that's what I got, and I appreciate all of you guys that have signed up and for all of your great feedback and suggestions already. This is a living app. We're going to consistently add to it. We're going to consistently improve upon it, and this is going to be just, I think it's already been, and I think it's going to continue to be the game-changing app that all sync licensing producers and composers need to be a part of. Again, if you're shooting blind, you're pitching out there and hoping and wishing, I feel bad for you. You don't have to do that anymore. You can get access to this. It is a 30-day money-back guarantee. Cancel anytime, no long-term commitments. You have literally nothing to lose, nothing to risk by signing on and joining today and checking out what we got going on here with the Sync Match app. So again, link is below. July 1st, all prices go up, and obviously we're adding more data. So this is getting just more and more powerful as time goes on. So definitely don't sit on this and sign up before July 1st.